Welcome, welcome, welcome to our international podcast, folks. Below the belt, who Vexlos? How are you, beautiful folks, doing out there today? Please let us know how you guys are doing out there. Quite a bit to share to you guys today. Trust that you are well. Share the live, smash that emoji button for us. We see all the usual suspects are here. Marilyn Thomas, Don Baines, and Lyndon Hopkinson, Marilyn Thomas. Glycis Mingo Burn. I see Marilyn Seaport as well. I see Nicola Daniels and all the usual folks are here with us. So happy to see you folks. We're gonna pull this audio down a little bit so you can actually hear us. Well, good to see you folks. You know how we do it, and I'm so happy to have with me in the studio my co-host, Rita Fernandez. You know, I told you guys this morning she was off, family first, and getting the kids settled in, like so many parents across this country. So many parents. Rita, welcome.
Oh, thank you. How are you? How is everybody today? I was out and about
Good, good, good.
this
That's how it is
morning.
sometimes.
I have a I
That
have
is how it
a
is sometimes.
I have a 7-year-old, so she's starting grade 2. So this morning, I was there with her, and I went with an open mind.
Uh-huh.
I always go with an open mind, but then the rain started, and when the rain started, the water started to gather in front of the school, in front of the classroom
Wow.
door where the children have to go in, and so
Yep, yep, yep. And I know we're going to talk about some
Yep.
other challenges the schools
It's crazy.
have had as well. As schools are opening up back this morning, we're going to be discussing some of the challenges. I'm happy that you've made a foray into that. But lots happening, folks. How are things at your end? Wherever you guys are joining us from around the world, how are things at your end? Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear as well. I see guys, it's Bingo Burns says welcome. Jurida says that's an indication that the folks can hear us. Jurida is fired up and she is ready to go. She's fired up this morning and she is ready to go. Well, this afternoon, rather. This afternoon, she is here with us and she's having some trouble with her headphones. She's a little distracted, trying to get that sorted out. Good to have her back in studio. One of her headsets faltering a little bit. Let me just switch up a little bit so
I don't know what's going on with my
she can hear.
headset. I think it's because I went
Yeah.
missing for
A little bit.
a little bit.
All right. Good to have you back, nonetheless. And we got Paulette Hawk Kippins joining us. Excellence Primo has joined us as well. Guys, good to have each and every one of you here. Gwyneth Anderson, technician. Gwyneth Anderson says, I can hear you loud and clear.
That's what
And
we
we're
like
happy
it.
about that. As I like them.
Uh-huh. How did you make out this morning, Cheryl? I know you like to go heavy by yourself. I hope
Yes,
you
I
didn't go too
try
heavy
not
this
to go too
morning.
heavy. Try not to go too heavy, but just enough. Just enough.
Just
Just enough to keep them hanging on.
keep them fearful.
Just enough. Tune. Will come again.
I saw a lot of parents out there, braving the rain and everything, making sure that they get their children out there to
Yeah.
school today.
Yep.
I noticed a lot of dads. I was so happy. I saw a lot of father and mother
Yeah.
there at the school. That's an extremely good sign. It's good.
Yeah.
I like to see the collective effort when it comes to school and your children and so
Yeah.
forth.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And don't ever, um, what would you call it? Don't ever
Don't underestimate the power in those. I'm not sure where
want
Sherrod is
to.
going.
No, I was saying, going to say, don't ever neglect that
Oh yes.
responsibility, and not only giving money to raising children. You know,
No, that's just a part
yeah,
of it.
throwing money don't fix everything, right?
Yeah.
But being a presence, that picking up, that dropping off, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I've been out in the loop for a little while because I got kids who, well, my young son, he's just approaching 2, so he's not quite there as yet, and the others are a little older. So that preschool stage, I'm not quite there,
Yeah.
you know. But I miss it. I miss it.
Don't worry.
Love
Enjoy
it.
it whilst you don't have it.
Love it. And I tried every opportunity I get to do that.
But you were
Right?
that hands-on father. Like,
Yes,
you were very
and
much
I miss it a little bit
hands-on.
because my big son lives overseas now, and I got a chance last year. I surprised him and picked him up from school. He wasn't expecting me even in the country,
See?
and I was there outside his school when it was finished, and he was like, I score a lot of points there.
Wow.
I score a lot of points. You know, parenting is about scoring a little points every now and again.
Hmm.
Trying to get it right, trying to get it right. And so many of you are out there, probably you're home now or on your way, breathing a sigh of relief. These little ones gone up, these little
No,
terrors.
one of the parents of mother, she said, "Oh my God, by the time I get home and I get something done, I have to come
Come
back for
right back
pickup."
all over again. Yep, 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 yep,
I
yep, yep.
understand. I
So
understand.
we're gonna be discussing a bit about that towards the end of the program too,
Yeah.
and also the what you look at me a little strange. The mid-year report, the Bank of Guyana mid-year report. Am I calling it correctly?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the
It
Bank of
is.
Guyana mid-year report
It's
is
a
out.
ministry of finance. That
Mid
their
All
mid
right.
year
It's
report.
somebody mid-year report, but it concerns all of us as Guyanese. And we're going to be heading to that later on in the program. It's dollars and cents, folks.
Hmm.
It's Monday, and look, things here really pressing.
Yeah, there's no the wording of these mid-year reports.
Things here really pressing. We got a couple things to get to, folks. So let's get right to it. Welcome to each and every one
But
of you.
before we move on,
Mhm.
I don't know if you mentioned it this
Talk
morning,
to me.
but in addition to it being the first day of school for a lot of the students and so forth, today, it's the first day that a lot of students are not going back to school. My eldest daughter, she's in mid,
Yes.
and today's results
Yes.
there.
Today's results. I missed that this morning. We did
Yes,
state that is we still in Heritage Month. It's Education Month as well.
yeah,
But I missed the fact
it's
that
the
CSEC
results
coming out
there.
today,
It's
and
gonna be
also
open, I think, by 6 p.m. They said.
wow, wow,
Mm-hmm.
wow. So I know Judy's nervous.
Oh God,
Her daughter
yes,
is less nervous than she is.
by far.
But that's happening today. CSEC and Cape comes out today. So a big
Hmm.
day, a big day. I see Don Barron saying Happy Labor Day. It's Labor Day in the USA. So
Yes,
those folks
a
are
holiday.
celebrating, and we're celebrating with you folks as
Mm-hmm.
well. We like the money part of Labor Day. But that
Mm-hmm.
being said, folks, quite a few things we are tracking, and we spoke about
I
some of
don't
these
like to
this
see those
morning.
$20.
But just in case you
This
guys,
photo bothers me.
oh, that affects you, well, we can try to fix that. We can
No,
try
no,
to
no, no,
fix that.
no. It is real. That's what it is. It's
It is
very real.
real, and the
Yep.
cost of living is real, and things are going up. Is real. Rennie Lord is here. Brooklyn is up in the hills. Brenda Moore is here too. Simone Graves is here, and all the other beautiful folks. Brenda Moore and everybody joining us. Simone Graves joining us, and yep, yep, yep. Good to have you, beautiful folks from around the world. Share the live, smash that emoji button, folks, and let's get right to it. Over the weekend, we talked about this morning. The Demar Harbor Bridge just like tired. A
Mm-hmm.
barge, hit into the retraction span. Boom!
Mm-hmm.
7 hours later, out of commission.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, a lot of folks were this what do you call it, dislocated this morning along with the bridge. Yep. I don't know, was the PAP something with them on this bridge? You know,
One thing I know
this
about the
bridge don't agree with
bridge,
them.
one thing I know about this bridge,
Talk to
this
me.
this Burnham Brainchild bridge that was
Mhm.
supposed to last a couple of years and still standing strong
Maybe that is
today.
why. Maybe
You
that is the
know?
problem. Maybe that the bridge don't like them. Yeah,
Oh,
I hit it on the head there. The bridge don't like them.
and this just goes to show
Born
the
Bridge don't like them.
quality
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
infrastructure work that went
yeah,
in back
yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. But you know what is striking is that the Jacobins built the same bridge in Berbice.
Mm.
The
Mm-mm-mm.
exact same bridge
Mm.
they built in Berbice, So they went back to the same quality you talk about,
Yeah,
right? Burnham's legacy has stood the test of time.
it has.
It has stood the test of
I
time.
think Sherry, you know, we were
Mhm.
having this discussion just yesterday
Talk to me.
about the roadways and the smattering of asphalt that
Yep,
that
yep.
was put on
Smattering
some.
indeed.
Jesus.
Yep, yep, yep.
I think they said that there's a standard and so forth, but some areas certainly don't see this standard.
No,
Mm.
no,
What's
no,
going
no.
on at your end, guys? I missed you this morning.
Pray
I'm
tell.
telling you, I missed everyone this morning. I miss Magnell and Maxine and everyone. Hey, Rami, I see you there. What's going on at your end? I hope all is well. And Ayabo, I miss you too, Ayabo. My goodness, what time is it there?
What time is it? What time is it, good people? What time is it? But we did hear. Um, what time is it, good people? Yeah, so we did hear that traffic is back to some level of normalcy. A digital system there was giving us a little feedback. She difficult, no, she system difficult, she is
I
difficult,
don't know what's
all of
going
it.
on there.
So the bridge is back and people are being able to move again, but we gotta rectify these long delays we'll
Mm.
have. And I'm happy that the coalition instituted and started the process for a new Demerara Harbor Bridge. That started the studies, and the location and all of that was already done, and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that. And you guys would appreciate, sometimes it takes more than 5 years to conceptualize and move these
Yeah.
projects forward. But the coalition started the process, and even though these jagabats are fiddling with it, with the location and some other things, the costs
Yeah.
and so on, it looks as though it's going to happen and help to relieve some of this stuff we see that happens
Much
um,
needed.
on the East Bank corridor there.
It's much needed. I can say that much. We definitely need to have when it comes to access and roadways, bridges, all of those
Mm-hmm.
things. We need to have a lot of work done
Lot of work
in that
indeed. A lot
department.
of work indeed. And folks, that's just one of the things we're following at this hour. And we're happy that things are returning to a level of normalcy on that side, Ingrid King and Claire, Alexis Charmley Richmond. Rama Leander, we're so happy that you guys are here and that we're concerned. Them are Harbor Bridge, things are coming back to a level of normalcy. In other things we're following, oh my lord, this the China Star supermarket there in Letter.
Oh
Fires of the
wow.
PPP.
Mm.
Fires of the PPP. Irma Holder, fires of the PPP. Florence, Lorraine, fires. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. To the
That
ground.
was quite something to look at.
That's the whole
Yeah.
supermarket on the ground, folks. When they say
Okay.
raised, RAZED, raised to
Mm.
the ground, that's the picture in the dictionary.
Wow.
Yep, yep. Whole supermarket was a huge structure there. Fires of the PPP.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to ever
On
have to
many
deal with a
levels.
situation like that.
On many levels. Because you know what hurt me here? The food that perished there.
Yeah, there's a
You
lot.
could
I've had
imagine
one
sugar
two
burning up
days.
there. That hurt me. I ain't even living close to that time and that hurt me. Sugar burning up, some good chicken, beef. No, I only eat those things when I'm out. Yesterday, had a gathering of the MPs, having a little rest and relaxation there, R&R,
Mm-hmm.
rest and recuperation. And you had a lot of food. That's the first time in a long time I eat chicken. First time in a
Mm-hmm.
long time I eat beef. That curry chicken.
Mm-hmm.
That's some folks tell me not to say this. They had some black belly sheep too. We sampled some black belly sheep there. I like the taste. I like the taste. They could carry back the black belly sheep, but everything else tastes good. It's a long time, you
People can
know.
send for
Yeah,
you.
I accepted the invitation because I could go and eat out. You can't buy chicken now, can't buy beef, fish. Them things expensive. This whole supermarket burned down,
Mm,
right? But the black belly sheep meat, yes, the little thingish,
mm.
the
It's
little thingish.
different. It's
Yeah, it's
different.
different. I know they're here. They're bringing some special bull,
Mm.
right? Some special bull, right? I think it's something, some
Let us
bullshit,
just let us
something. It's a
just choose.
bull.
I
It's a
think
bull.
I think I think something needs to be selected
Yeah,
and
yeah,
structured properly, and let us excel in it before we
yeah.
move on to something else. As it is, you did speak about the report, and when we get to that,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how these guys really moving forward with everything that they're moving forward with based on the report that they're giving on them
Mm-hmm.
about their own track record
Because
thus
it's
far.
folks, the report is Pocatory and confusion powder.
Man, but I would.
Pocatory and confusion powder. We can talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
But we saw quite a few interesting photographs of the British High Commissioner, Jane Mill, on social media. She
Mm.
took some new profile photographs.
Nice,
There's her,
nice.
her husband, and so on, pose up nice. Their dog and so forth, looking real nice. But then there's some other photographs that causing a little concern. And here is one of those that caused a lot of concern. Here is Jane Miller, the British High Commissioner to Guyana, and she's decked out in the party motto now for the PPP, the One Guyana PPP Party motto mantra.
Mm.
And some folks says that ambassadors and so on should not be decked out in party
It's
paraphernalia
a
and colors
slogan.
and slogan and so on. So this is pretty interesting. This One Guyana thing is a PPP party slogan. And it's quite interesting. I don't know if there's been a revision on the diplomatic protocols and so on, but
Mm.
last we checked, um, you know, I would love to see her then in a forward ever, backward never t-shirt and cap. We gotta make that happen. We gotta give the good ambassador the hookup. Forward ever, backward never. Would
Boots
love
on
to
the
see her.
ground.
Boots on the ground. Would love to see her in some of that paraphernalia. I mean, let's do the whole gamut of it. If any, let's be an equal wearer, British High Commissioner. You know,
Mm.
one Guyana,
Well, you
boots on the
probably
ground.
need to
Yeah,
send it over
yeah,
because
yeah.
she was probably never in receipt of those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're going to give her the hookup. All right, happy to see her out there exercising.
Yeah, she's been out and about. I
Yeah,
give her that much. You know,
yeah,
she's been out and about, doing her bit. But
yeah.
you know,
Wearing some garments
yeah,
and so. Mhm.
we are very our country is very sensitive. So I think all
Yeah,
commissioners
yeah.
needs to
And Joan
be.
Gilbert says she might go with Boris because Britain has a new leader of the Labour Party and presumptive prime minister. So I see someone is saying here she might go with Miller, with Boris. I see Karen Miller. I don't know if there's any relations to Jane Miller rather. But the British High Commissioner was well decked out in her one Guyana paraphernalia. The PPP, the People's Progressive Party Civic, a new mantra and motto. So yep. Yep.
Mm-mm-mm.
So there's that happening, causing a lot of concern and raised eyebrows. Folks, share the live, smash that emoji button so that folks get valid, credible information. You might want to share that for us. And then, oh, there was this lovely photograph of Irfan Ali's son. Is it Zayad?
I think it's
Um,
Zayn. I'm not sure how it's said.
Zyaad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
I
think
think that's
I'm
yeah,
saying it wrong
yeah,
then.
yeah. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrong either. After his very first day, we did talk about school reopening today, and his father taking him to a private preschool for the first time. Kudos to them. It's quite a challenge to get kids out on the first day of school. And lots of parents face this challenge, and we want to say kudos to them. Look like they make it on time. A private preschool. They're somewhere in the city. I noticed that they were very careful not to mention the name of the preschool, but a
Mm-hmm.
private preschool somewhere in the city, and they are off today. Congratulations! Like any
Yeah.
parent, you did this little feat. You are worthy of, a little kudos. Kudos to you all.
Yeah. I think
Kudos to you all.
I saw the photo
I
and
didn't see
I
any
think
photographs with the first lady.
no,
Is she, is she overseas?
I don't think I saw her there, but it's
Probably
quite
busy.
as a parent,
Yeah, yeah,
everything else aside, as a parent,
yeah.
the experience,
Or she's probably home exhausted. I can see her on the couch having, gotten up early to get lunch ready and all
yeah,
those things. Exhausted.
as parents
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
understand having to go through that, and I saw
yeah,
him a little cutie in his own right
yeah,
there
yeah,
off to school. I
yeah.
think
He can break a lot of hearts when he grows up,
yes,
right? He can break a lot of
yeah,
hearts.
you very well.
Zayad, I think that's his name.
Very much so. He may
Yep,
very well be
he's
breaking a
gonna break a lot
couple
of
of
hearts.
hearts there because
Yeah,
he's a little
yeah,
cutie in his own right. I see them there going off to school
yeah,
and quite an occasion to have your first child there
yeah.
on their way
Excellent,
to school.
excellent, excellent,
I
excellent.
remember my time there.
Yeah,
But I think it's preschool. I think it's preschool that he is that he's at. So and I do know that when it comes to schooling and we don't have public preschool. So I think probably as we move forward as a country, like I always say, we have more money to spend right about now. So those are things that I think we should be looking
yeah,
into as
yeah.
we structure.
Government preschool.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
I wish more parents had the disposable income to send their kids, whether we go in the direction of public preschools or
Yeah.
private preschools. I wish more parents earned,
Well, preschool in
enough.
general, right now,
Yeah,
it's all of them. It's just private.
yeah,
So I think that we definitely need to head in that direction
yeah.
of having
Yeah,
public
definitely.
preschools.
If Ali thinks that preschool is a good
It's
idea,
important,
and
yes.
so I would say we have the oil money now. Let's go in this direction.
Definitely, and not only that, we have
Public preschools. Yeah,
when it comes to childcare altogether, we need to push forward in the direction of making sure that you have more parents being out there having the ability to go and work and earn. And by providing
yeah, yeah,
childcare facilities and all of those things, you'll be aiding and helping the cause to have more parents out there working,
yeah,
contributing towards the
yeah.
economy and so forth. So we definitely in structure we need to do that because I think all of those things once you don't have a parent at home, all of these things are
Yeah,
important.
very, very,
Mhm.
very important. I could see Aria, just as we say, Lala on the couch, breathing. Zad gone up there. She wake up since 4, doing
Mhm.
whatever she does to prepare for him. And Daddy now picks up the baton from home and he runs to the school and he takes him in.
Yeah.
But I have a dream. I have a dream that all
Yeah.
guy needs could earn enough money to send their children to whichever school they feel
Yeah.
comfortable. Listen to me, parents is instinctive. It's instinctive for parents to want to give their children the best. It's
Mm.
instinctive. And if you
Yeah.
can't find it in the public school system and you feel to go private, I wish we all earned the kind of money that allowed us to do so. Really and
Yeah.
truly, we are deserving of it as
Yeah, I think
Guyanese.
it's more push for. I would more.
Yeah,
I would think I would love to see us move in the direction of having some public preschools.
preschools,
Yeah,
public preschools,
that
because
would
in
actually
lots
be
of
good.
instances, parents got to go right back out to work. I would like to know that Irfan has to take, 2 or 3 years off for, that kind of stuff to, be in there with that child at that stage, right?
Yeah.
Be at that stage.
Yep. 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 We have to look at it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
So
I
congratulations to
was
them.
one other point I wanted, maybe if we move off of that photo. I did note persons online. A lot of persons say, why not mention the name of the school and so forth. But I am not. To be You have to be honest about it. And when it comes to security, security is extremely important. At the end of the day, it is he is holding the office of president, and that's his child, and security is important. So leave it as that. You're not
Yep,
supposed. I
yep,
don't think
yep,
anybody else does that in any other country. Just goes about like that. So,
yep.
like I said, congratulations to the little one off to school. And
Yep. But on the other side of that, as we did say, we've been surveying some of what return to school 2022 September is about. And we see in the government school, and private school don't have this challenge. You got your money to send you into private school, half your headaches off.
yeah,
Lots of schools, parents turned up for school, and school wasn't ready. And they
yeah.
had to take the kids back home. Private school, you don't got that.
Yeah, sometimes I believe that okay. I spoke to a teacher this morning, and she was spot on. I was saying sometimes you got to be a little bit more pushy as the administrators of the school to get certain
Mm-hmm.
things fixed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she said, when she was spot on, she said, "Why does it have to be that? Why
Yeah.
why is it
Yeah.
that you have to row for something?
Yep, yep.
Why is it
Lot
the
of lot
system
of
doesn't
folks,
work to get it
lot of mothers
fixed?"
got up early,
Yeah.
ready to take those kids out. They've bought the books, everything like that. They turned up to quite a few
Hmm.
schools, we're seeing. And then they're being told the school is not ready. We're hearing some schools were painted just over the weekend. Were painted just over the weekend
Well,
here.
at least I got painted because there are some schools, the guttering is a mess, water filling up all over the place, the drain wasn't cleared, and it's crazy. So I
Yep,
really
yep,
want to
yep,
know
yep.
what was going on during that break there for us because it's summer.
Yep, but that is the. It seems as though this is now the modus operandi, because this happened just out of the Christmas term. It seemed as though the folks weren't quite ready for a return to school after the Christmas term, and then what we're seeing here now is looks like a repeat. So nice, we got to do it twice. And just last week, Friday, or was it Thursday? There was a young man who was complaining about
Yeah.
what's happening in the teaching system, what is required of them, and saying that the ministry is requiring some stuff of them that they seem not to be able to comply with themselves, and
Yeah.
and how much was not, for instance, being
Yeah.
provided for
I
teachers.
remember I remember that clip because he was specifically speaking about the fact that they're sending him soft copy of some
We might get
documentations.
that. We might get that clip of that teacher in just a second.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was quite concerning to hear him
Mm-hmm.
speak. A teacher in the system, private school, and got him concerned. Kudos to any parents who can afford the money to send the kids to private school. Half your headaches off.
It's a very sad situation when it comes to us being teachers in the primary system. When I say us being teachers in the primary system, um, speaking as a classroom teacher, it's a bit of a crazy decision by our superiors who are supposed to be there to guide us on the way forward. My reason for such judgmental thoughts are the fact being school is scheduled to reopen on Monday, the 5th of September, which is basically 4 days away. Today is the 1st of September, and schools would be using a renewed curriculum and a whole brand new notes of lessons. We are being trained with these things once a month for this renewed curriculum as teachers and this lesson plan. Bearing in mind that teachers have not yet received the hard copies for these curriculums that would be used come September morning, and they have not received a hard copy document as it relates to the new lesson plan format. Now, these are two major things in the classrooms: your curriculum and your lesson plan. Now, they have sent us the curriculum via email or whatever social media, social platform it was, if it was email, WhatsApp, whatever it is. Now, those stuff are soft copy, bearing in mind that one of those curriculum contains 194 pages. Being a classroom teacher, you have to spend your money to go print those stuff and bring it to the classrooms to deliver. When you have, as a classroom teacher, you have visits coming from the officers, and you're going to say to them that, sir or miss, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I don't have the physical hard copy of my lesson plan, but I have a soft copy. They would then jump on the bandwagon to say that we can't look at it and blah, blah, blah. You need to have a hard copy document. We don't deal with soft copy. Now, you tell me as an officer, you're telling me you can't deal with soft copy document if I'm going to give you a lesson plan soft copy. Why must we as a teacher in the education system deals with a soft copy when it comes to the lesson plan and the curriculum? How are we moving? How are we moving when you're giving me a soft copy curriculum to work with? Tell me, how are we moving when you're giving me a soft copy format to work with? And then if I'm going to give you a soft copy format of a lesson plan, you don't want it. We understand we are moving in a technologically advanced stage. Soft copy is acceptable. But as a classroom teacher, I expect, and as all other teachers, I'm pretty sure expect in the primary system, would expect that you would have at least have in your possession by this pre-term week, which we are expected to be in school, this pre-term week, we have that hard copy document in front of us that we could have been able to use that hard copy document to prepare our lesson plan. Now, speaking about lesson plan, there is a whole brand new format of a lesson plan. Still, the Ministry of Education, through their offices, whatever it be, they are sending us a lesson plan that is of the old format, and we have to use that. How can we use that old format lesson plan to plan a brand new lesson plan? You don't have the copy, you don't have the headings, nothing you don't have. So you're telling me as a classroom teacher, I need to go back to the days where I'm going to take a ledger and draw up? It's crazy, it's very crazy to sit here as a teacher, today being Thursday, and you don't have in your possession any of those documents.
Yep. I say one laptop per teacher. That's why I say one laptop per teacher. And I wish to God that every parent had the money to invest in private education. Because when you go private, you ain't got a problem, You ain't got a problem. Everything on point. Right? Schools are clean. Your kids can sit on the floor. You ain't got a problem. Go private, half your headache solved,
I think the problem is fixing
Yeah,
the public
yeah.
system.
And kudos.
I think we need to fix the public system.
Fix the public system.
The money is there for the work to be done, and fix the public system. There is no, I always rate public schools, because I don't know, I have a bias because I went right through my right through my education from nursery right through. I went to public schools. I've had the opportunity of sending my daughter,
yeah.
my eldest daughter, I sent her to private school for a part of her life.
Yeah.
And I when comparing and contrasting, I think the public school have a great
Yeah.
curriculum, but there are things that needs to be
Yeah.
monitored. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and we need to get to a point that
Yeah.
there's not this big distinction between
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Correct.
quality
Correct.
of
Correct.
education that you receive in the public schools as
Yeah.
opposed to the private schools.
Yeah.
I believe that we have there is the money there, the resources is there now. I mean, Irfan himself said it, the resources there, the money is there to be spent. Fix the schools, make sure that the public schools are a good representation of what the country has to offer.
Correct. But I don't want to pretend that a lot of people have no confidence in the public school, and that's why they take their children to private school. I don't want to pretend.
That's the problem that we
Yeah.
have, and one of the things is that the way in which a lot of people treat your children
Yeah.
in the public schools as
Yeah.
opposed to the treatment children get in the private schools, you
Yeah.
know. And the system, there is a systemic change that
Yeah.
needs to
Yeah.
happen. You know,
Yeah.
I have had
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
conversations.
A lot of people across this country have
Yep.
no faith in the public school system, and they take the children private. I
Mm.
say kudos to them. You have the money to do it. You have the money to do it.
Mhm.
Do it. Moving on, folks. Lots of stuff happened over the weekend as well. We want to bring you guys up to date with very, very quickly. We're moving on, guys. Very quick. A lot of stuff, including this rally at Golden Grove. And we asked you guys, where were you? Alia Waldron was on the ground today, right? Azalia Waldron on the ground over the weekend.
Mm.
Was Alia Waldron on the ground over the weekend? You know, these people who say, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. And then they say in cyber. You're a spectator, you went on the ground over the weekend? You went on the ground? Well, folks.
Again, a spectator
Yeah.
wouldn't can
Understand that?
differentiate
Yeah.
words and topics.
Yeah. So, you know, some of us, we were on the ground over the weekend. We went on the ground, folks, over the weekend. Mr. Norton was in fine form there, talking about the corruption of the PPP. Corruptionism. Them boys, y'all know them. Know them boys stay. Aubrey Norton, folks, Golden Grove, just over the weekend. Just over the weekend, folks. Yep. Fine form. Corrupt PPP. Corrupt. Among other things. Yep.
We believe as we pursue oil, we must look towards learning about the technology. We must look towards producing a core of Guyanese that can monitor, that can audit, and do the things that are necessary to ensure we have a successful oil and gas industry. That will be our focus. But the PPP's focus is for a few of them to get rich. All they focus on is corruption. They are so corrupt that they don't even know what is corruption. It become normal. They would thief and believe they just take. It is that kind of culture we have allowed to develop in this society. When a society arrives at the point where its leadership does not know right from wrong, things will go wrong. And things are going wrong in Guyana because they do not know the difference between right and wrong. Let me show you how ridiculous they are. They went to an Indo-Guyanese dominated community called Pigeon Island. And the president goes, I'm going to say sit down, he fat self, but somehow we get fine quick. He sits down and he tells them, we are going to regularize you. You are going to get your lease or whatever you have to get, your transport. And then they go to Muka, an African Guyanese community. And they said, if you don't move, we can bulldoze you. Who on earth will believe when that Jagabat talks about one Guyana? You know why they don't want to talk about one people, one nation, one destiny? Because they're hoping we can be one people so that they control. Here you go. They want us as a nation. It's a totally different thing, eh? You could be one people without being a nation. But worst of all, they seem not to want us to have one destiny. They want a destiny for them, which is riches, which is high quality of life, and another destiny for us, poverty. We cannot live with that. This society must be structured in such a way that we lift people out of poverty, put many in the middle class, put many in the upper class, and ensure that we continuously get rid of poverty. PPP seems to mean plenty poverty persists. They seem bent on ensuring our people are poor. And now I want to turn to your communities. They will go to places like Buxton and they find ex-convicts. Look at the people they choose. You're either ex-convict, ex-backtrack, ex-drugs. You know why? Because they want to have something over them so that they can make them do what they want. But I want to say to the youth, do not be carried away by 5,000 and 20,000. Let us not forget the approach they took years ago made a man shoot another man for $20. And when you worship money, you lose humanity, you lose sanity. And so, be very careful and understand that their approach of bribery is not love for people. Their approach of bribery is to create division. Their approach of bribery is to quell the tension. They have no interest in the genuine development of our people, and we must first recognize that. If we don't recognize that, we will perish. And I know we don't intend to perish. And so, I want to say to you that we must organize in every village. We must have a unit in every village. I've said to you before, I didn't intend to be a leader that comes to you at election time. We want to be in your village all the time. And we will continue to campaign until they call the elections. And we guarantee when the elections are called, we will beat the People's Progressive Party. We have to be united. We have to be united with one objective in mind.
Yep. And that's how that went down over the weekend, folks. You know who we had also out there fired up and ready to go, Drida? We had a leader of the Alliance for Change, Kem Rajram, fired up, folks. And he was on fire, fired up. And he was inspiring Freddie Kazoon. Hypocrite.
Spot on. I think he was spot on.
Hippopotamus. Hypocrite. That's what he called Freddie.
Everyone needs to read Freddie's paper that he was referring to. But let's go ahead.
Yep. Hypocrite. Oh my. Kem Raj was fired up. Hypocrite. Hippo.
Had before us a president named Jagdeo. And let me say this. In 2012 it was, or 2010, his policies were analyzed by a man mouth who torn now, Freddie Kazoon. Freddie Kazoon called him an ideological racist. You remember that? And Jagdeo sued him. I was his lawyer. I was the lawyer for Freddie Kazoon. And Freddie Kazoon came to me for legal advice. And I said, that's a serious description. He said, I'm going to prove it. And Freddie wrote a thesis and proved it. And in our defense to his defamation claim, we indicated that yes, indeed, he was. And he wrote a piece called Ethnic Power and Ideological Racism, comparing presidencies in Guyana. I went back into some files and I found the document recently. And with all that nonsense he writes, all that nonsense he talks about, he should realize that he cannot untether himself from the text that he wrote years ago. This is what he wrote. What this writer has found is the widespread use of ethnic preferences and ethnic discrimination on the part of the government of Guyana, to the extent that the evidence is beyond contradiction. Ready? In a country where two major ethnic groups dominate the social landscape and where the public realms are more suited to African Guyanese because of sociological and educational evolutions, there is a relentless, almost frenetic process of African disappearance in all dimensions of substantial power. And this decrease is a result of governmental edicts, policies by the ruling elites, and the attitudes of Indian power brokers. It is these kinds of circumstances one encounters invariably as one probes the existence of racism in the Jagdeo presidency. So ubiquitous are the signs, symbols, and realities of ethnic control and racial domination in Guyana that it is still an inexplicable or strange situation that the United Nations and the US government have not intervened as yet. And then he goes on, the perpetuation of racism is extensive and intensive in Guyana, in which an East Indian ruling class has shaped an East Indian hegemony that is almost complete. And then he goes on, because tonight I wanted to bring this to your attention, that Jagdeo he was talking about then, when comparing presidencies, and he was comparing Hoyt, he was comparing Barnum, he was comparing Janet, Sherry, and so on. And that is what he wrote about here. And let me tell you, it is 65 powerful pages in which he listed how they dominated the public service, removing Afro-Guyanese and putting in Indo-Guyanese. He stated all of that here. Said, this writer accepts the fact that ideological racism ends up hurting an entire ethnic community, and the end result is group hegemony. But the academic argument is the determinant. We have proven in this research that African Guyanese are badly discriminated upon. That was Freddie writing. And today, he is but an archduke of unprincipledom. He's a hypocrite.
Yep. That was over the weekend, folks. And as I encourage you this morning, we're encouraging you now. When these rallies are published, the dates and so forth, go down and support. Go out and support. Archduke of unprincipledom. Go out and support.
You know, we make a lot of reference to that paper. And I'm glad that Kim Raj was the one to take that to the platform. Like he said, Freddie went to him for representation, you know, when Jagdeo was suing him for that.
Yeah.
And now you want to know if it's the same Freddie Kisu.
Different.
I was going to say very rarely, but I think this is the first time I've ever seen someone that did research and put together an academic paper actually walking on every word that they wrote.
Yeah.
Academics
Yeah.
don't do that. They don't discard their own research
Yeah.
as garbage, you know.
Yeah. Unless you're unprincipled.
Well, true.
Unless you're unprincipled. Yep. Now, so, folks, that was some of the stuff we covered from over the weekend. But jury to hands where we are now with this Ministry of Finance mid-year report. Tell us what is report telling us, and why should we be concerned? You know, a lot of stuff happening. It's the economic front now, dollars and cents, folks. If it's Monday, you know, we're in the dollars and the cents. And this is some of what's coming out of the Ministry of Finance mid-year report. Jurida, over to you. The mic is yours.
Well, first of all, you know, one I noted some headlines that spoke to the report. I think it was in yesterday papers, and a lot of the online papers as well that was speaking about the report. And one of them in particular was like trying to boost it up and say, you know, despite COVID and whatever, the economy is still growing.
Despite the mayhem, moderation was a good concern.
So I was reading and I found it a little bit funny because persons need to actually get into the report and to read what is going on, especially when it comes to the sectors, because these are the things that are extremely important to us, you know. And but I noted, and this is why I said a little bit earlier, Sherrod, when you were mentioning the fact that they're bringing in a special bull, you said, right? And we were speaking about the fact that they're bringing in they brought then the black belly sheep. They're going to bring more. I know they were talking about bringing a bull, and I said what we need to do is to better what we are already doing, right? We need to choose something, structure it, and go ahead with it and make that great. And don't be all over the place as though we have no plan. Well, it would appear is that we have absolutely no plan, and because of that, persons are all over. But one of the key sectors that we have to be looking at is sugar. And I promise everyone that I'm going to continue to bang at this because the PVP stood on every platform and they criticize, they condemn the
They said they're the
coalition
experts in
from what
sugar.
was going on with sugar. And they said they're going to go in there, they're going to make it great. They went in there, billions of dollars been pumped into this industry. So more than likely, what we expect is that the report should be showing that sugar is doing good. We know what have been going on with sugar. We know that the coalition administration said sugar, the industry needed to be right size in order for it to make any sense, in order to bring it to a state of profitability and all of those things. But the PP went in there, they went to their base and they said, no, that's nonsense. And the coalition don't know what they're talking and they're going to do it right now. So sometimes I want to tease people like, what do you think? What do you think sugar is doing right about now? You think sugar is doing better? You think has expanded? Guyana Spectator, what has been the happenings with sugar? Guyana Spectator seems
Spectator
to
just
know
gone quiet now.
everything that goes on.
Spectator?
I want Guyana Spectator
Like
to
Spectator
explain
sugar down.
what is going on. Anyway, let's get to the numbers, right?
Tell us.
According to the report here, it says the sugar growing industry is estimated to have contracted by 55.9%.
Wow. For all them billions we throw in there.
No, wait, but let me just tell you, the sugar growing industry is estimated to have contracted by 55.9% when compared with the first half of 2021. And I have to add in at this point that the half year report for 2021 showed a contraction from 2020.
Wow.
This is
sugar really doing nothing.
This is the PVP that went in there. They went on every platform and said they're going to be doing great with sugar. They're going to make sure that sugar is good. It's going to be sweet again and all of that. I noticed Mustafa, the Minister of Agriculture.
Zulfikar?
Cute
Zulfi.
Zulfi, he's going around and he's blowing his chest up, beating his chest. I said, don't do that because you're going to have to report the broad data and person's going to actually understand what is going on. When it comes to rice did the best ever under the coalition administration, best records ever.
And we do nothing.
Zulfi said, no, the people know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're the greatest, they're the expert. It is estimated, I'm reading directly from the report,
the
guys.
Rice Whisperers.
It is estimated that the rice industry contracted by 22.4%.
Wow.
Rice contracted by 22.4%. And I'm speaking about this, and I have to mention the fact that the headlines were taken over only recently with Zulfi actually saying that they're diversifying, they're looking at different varieties and all that. 22.4%. That is the contraction that rice is looking at right now. But guess what?
Tell us, tell us.
As we move forward, one of the things that surprised me, a little bit was, oh well, I have to mention. Let me just go directly to the data when it comes to one of the other things that we're talking about, and that's fishing altogether. Guys, the people said that fishing industry is doing great. It's pure nonsense. They know what we're talking about, and we're talking about the fact that it is contracted. They say they don't know what we're talking. It is growing. It is doing excellent. According to this report, again, this is the report that is there, guys. Go to Ministry of Finance website. You're going to see it right there, half year report 2022. The fishing industry is estimated to have contracted by 19%.
19?
Fishing.
Their report.
Their
There's
report.
not no air seaport in this house.
You sure? I was thinking the same thing. Because it's all good and nice for persons to go out there and to make political speeches, but when it comes to presenting the raw data to the people, you can't man. Well, they have, and I'm gonna be dealing with that subsequently. But I did see a lot of attempt to manipulate some figures, and I'm gonna be dealing with that in a whole different show, because we're gonna put together a special show for that. But guys, this is the raw data that is coming out of the report that is published there from the Ministry of Finance. They're saying that the things that have been pulling this country, the things that we have, the things that the AP and UAFC administration had to survive off of. Let's put it over like that. Without oil, the AP and UAFC had to survive off of these industries, and we survived. We made sure that there was growth all the time and all of that. Gold, Sherrod, and I have a problem with this particular one. As it is being reported right now, it said the gold mining industry declined by an estimated 1.5% in the first half year of the year. All right. On account of lower declarations from the small and medium scale miners. I have an issue with this because I don't have this data at my disposal right now. But I did go through in some programs before when it comes to declarations of gold prior to 2015, and then the declarations of gold from 2015 to 2020. In office, you see the declarations start to go down again. Serious work needs to be done in making sure that I'm trying to word myself without getting attacking anyone directly on this. But this doesn't show a clear the picture that is being presented here with these numbers. I think what's happening on the ground realistically is something way different, if I'm to say it like that.
It leaves much to be desired.
Much more, So we have to be looking into these things very specifically. And I don't know why is it that when the PP is in office, declaration suddenly start to decline, it goes down. When we talk about corruption, let's just get into it. When we talk about corruption and the administration being corrupt, and the fact that whatever is it that happens when they are in office, at very helm of it, encourages person in other sectors and industries and jobs to just do the same. That's what you're seeing there. That's what you're seeing with gold. That's what you're
Wow.
seeing there.
Wow.
It's not just the declarations don't magically start to decrease.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, 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 mm.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot.
And I can tell you that is not with. Oh, and I have to say, the report stated, guys, that when they spoke about the declaration, they say from small and medium scale miners. Nonsense. This coming from the top, the big miners.
They done declarations.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I can fight people for that one.
A lot to go through, guys. A lot to go through, and we're gonna be unpacking it in the in the hours ahead, we're going to be unpacking this. The hours and the days ahead, we're going to be unpacking the Ministry of Finance Bank of Guyana mid-year report. Yep. So that's some of what's happening, folks, in the economy. We looking tin, right? We looking tin, spectator. We looking tin. We looking tin, spectator. Aubrey Lennox, Marilyn Larimer, Bantu King. We looking tin. We looking tin.
But they said manufacturing was doing well. Did they not say that?
Yeah. What manufacturing looking now for you?
Well, they said the manufacturing sector is estimated to have contracted by 11.4%. Contractions.
Wow.
How do you beef this up? How do you go to the
Wow.
people? Well, they did a lot of preamble from the beginning and say because of this and the world and this and that.
Nonsense. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is
Everything
the
wrong is
reason,
somebody else. Everything right is them. Right? If they're looking at it, we have nothing to do with the world, nothing to do with better shipping and so on. It's just them, the geniuses that we got. Right? It's just them, like Spectator and them, like Lacho and Leon and them, you know.
But listen, when it comes to manufacturing, there's a differentiation that persons need to know when it comes to stuff like sugar and rice. Because there's a sugar growing where we just walked, the numbers that we were just giving were more specifically to sugar growing and that subsector. When it comes to manufacturing, and let me just read this out for you guys.
Read it out for us.
It says the manufacturing sector is estimated to have contracted by 11.4% during the first half of this year. Sugar, rice, and other manufacturing are estimated to have declined by 55.9%, 70.3%, and 4.5% respectively. This is all decline, all.
So this country just running on island gas right now.
That is what it is.
Right?
That's
Dutch
what
disease
it
of his skin.
is.
Dutch
That's
disease.
what it is.
Everything down. Sugar down. Everything down. Anil down. Kwame down. Everything down. Everything down. Yep.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Wow. This is good governance for them. Thank you. You know, we owe a debt of gratitude to St. Vincent Jordan, keeping that inflation down 0.9 and for other measures implemented, and also for David Arthur Granger for the framework that they could come down and reap the benefit from oil and gas. And they had to be preparing the pitch for the bowling. They come and they start batting right away.
Wasn't Jagdeep that said that they got some plans and methods, but the plans are a little inflationary though?
Yeah, little inflationary. Little inflationary. Not much.
You know, when I
little
told people,
inflationary.
guys, you would remember that I told you that the administration is choosing to do things that they know will cause inflation. They're willfully choosing inflation.
Little inflationary.
Persons just, people like Guyana spectators and so on just come in the comment section and say, oh, she knows she talking. I said they're choosing to do things that are inflationary. They're choosing for prices to go up. And when I said that, persons don't get it. It was Byron Jagdio himself that went there and said, you got some methods, a little inflationary.
Little inflationary. Little inflationary.
You will see that
little, not plenty, just little.
In the public sector investment
little
program.
inflationary.
You will see the highways, you will see the bridges.
Little. That's what folks say.
Not frills, not fancy things. And then you will see water.
From the top.
You will see that in the public sector investment program. You will see the highways, you will see the bridges, you will see the power plants, not frills, not fancy things. And then you will see water, housing, the important things to people. And so education. So it's an aggressive program, and it could be a bit inflationary too.
Yep, could be a bit inflationary.
Does Guyana Spectator hear that?
A bit inflationary.
I don't know. Is it still here?
Well, yeah. Criminal negligence, as I call it. Criminal negligence.
I was talking. We had this program once. I think it was Dollars and Cents too, and we were talking about the fact that all that's going on and in the wider world and other countries, you see Guyana is basically doing the opposite when it comes to the way in which they're fighting inflation. I think it was Guyana Spectator came and said, "What nonsense?"
What is Guyana Spectator qualified in?
I don't know. Definitely,
like, what is his thing?
Not economics, not accounting.
It's trolling. He's trolling.
I can say what he's not,
what is he qualified in? Send us your CV. Let me see if we can do it. Yep. Folks, that's going to do it for us at this end. For Below the Belt today, folks, thanks for joining our international podcast. We broadcast live from National Capital City of Georgetown here in Ghana. We are privileged to have Judy Finance as our co-host today. You know, she sent the little ones off, and then she's just a trooper. She came by and make sure that we were well and joined in the discussion.
Felt
Yep.
guilty.
You
I felt
felt good.
guilty.
We're happy about that. We can live with that. We can live with that. Guys, that's going to do it for us. Join us back this evening. We continue to unpack these numbers, folks. We're unpacking tonight these numbers, among other things. Good to have had you here. Jurida, the final word goes to you. Folks, smash that emoji button, share the damn live. No, with me as well. Jurida.
Yeah, guys, continue to join us. I know that this evening's program and also tomorrow we're going to be continuing to unpack what is in the mid-year report. Very, very important facts and figures there to give to you. You know, like I said, under all the huff and puff and nice headlines and all of those things comes the reality of what is going on in Guyana, and nothing for the government to hold their head up about. You know, they should be walking about down in their heads in shame right about now. It's absolutely crazy. The inflation rate, everything out of control. It is as crazy as we can get, but they continue to pretend as though it is good.
It's
So
nice
continue to
day.
join us. Continue to join us. You know, it's, these people, they try to justify everything, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
you
what
know?
we think is nice thing. Yeah,
We're going to give you the data to make sure that you can combat anyone that brings you the nonsense. All the trolls in the comment section, you know, they're doing their job, but they can't dispute facts and figures, and that's the sad part. You know, I think persons like Guyana Spectate and so forth don't have a comeback when it comes to these contractions. You simply don't.
Yeah.
They have to go running around like headless chickens trying to figure out what nonsense
Yeah,
to speak of.
I don't tell these contractions. Get a spectator about to have a baby.
Yeah.
Not the contraction.
Mhm.
Push, get a spectator, push. See you guys back here tonight. That's it from us. Listen,